This dog trainer is getting leads and customers from ChatGPT and they don't even have a website. Wait, what? Sounds crazy, right? But it's happening and you can do the same. You can make AI your biggest salesperson without any DM chatbots, complicated automations, or even a website. All you need is this simple 3-step framework I'm going to share with you. Part 1 is see what AI sees. Think about the kinds of questions a customer might ask if they were sitting across the table from you. It's pretty basic stuff, right? Things like, who's the best pet sitter in your city? Or where can I find a pet sitter near me? Or even, how much do pet sitters usually charge? I'd say meet the list between 5 to 10 questions so that it doesn't get too overwhelming. Then here's where it gets interesting. Take those questions and put them on ChatGPT or Gemini and see what comes up. Which businesses are getting mentioned? Are they local companies, directories, blogs? What kind of information is showing up? Is it reviews, pricing info, step-by-step guides? This step is basically you peeking behind the curtain. You're literally seeing the world the way your customers see it through AI. And that gives you a huge advantage because once you know which sources AI is pulling from, you can figure out how to get yourself into that picture. Now, you can totally do this by hand as I described. Drop your questions into ChatGPT or Gemini, study the results, and so on. But if that sounds like too much copy-paste, stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you a tool that automatically does this and saves you a ton of time. Part 2, getting into AI sources. Alright, for this part, you should already have 2 things. A list of where AI pulls its answers from, and the type of content it's using. If you don't, pause for a minute and put that together, otherwise this step won't make sense. Now, the goal here is to influence that information. Basically, you want to show up in the places where AI is already looking. The first big source is communities. If you notice AI citing Reddit threads, that's your cue to get involved. Jump in those threads, add something useful, answer a question, or share a resource. For example, if someone asks,
what are some red flags to avoid in a pet sitter?
You could reply with something like, as somebody who's been pet sitting for over 5 years, here are the red flags to avoid. Then naturally mention your service at the end if it fits. The key is leading with value, not with your pitch. The goal isn't to spam. It's to leave a footprint so that when AI crawls that conversation again, your business is baked into the context. And trust me, AI loves Reddit. If a thread ranks once, it usually sticks around for a while. The second one is lists. If you see results like top 10 dog sitters in Detroit, that's a huge opportunity. You don't have to wait for someone else to write those. You can publish your own. Put it on platforms that AI can crawl easily, like LinkedIn, Medium, or X, which now has a blogging platform. These are free, easy to index places where AI is already looking for answers. So if your content lives there, you're literally part of the source AI is pulling from. And the third one is reviews. If AI is pulling reviews, then that's your sign to double down. Ask a few customers to leave fresh reviews on your Google business profile or even on social platforms. Here's a script that works. Hey Sarah, I'm so glad Buddy had a great time. If you have 30 seconds, would you mind sharing your experience on Google? It helps other pet parents find me. It's simple, direct, and most happy customers will say yes. By the way, if you don't have a website, you can still set up a Google business profile, which is honestly one of the most underrated hacks for small businesses. But don't just stop at reviews. Fill out every detail, your name, hours, categories, and address. These small details matter because if AI sees incomplete or messy information, it'll recommend someone else's listing. If you need help setting up your Google business profile, I've linked a video in the cards and added some resources in the description. And lastly, part 3 is track your efforts. The truth is, you can do all this work in the first week, the second week, and maybe the third, and then you hit that wall. You start asking yourself, am I wasting time? Is this even worth it? And that's the danger if you're not tracking, because you might actually be making progress, but you wouldn't know it unless you kept on checking. Now, you could do this manually. Just go back to step 1 every week, type your prompts into ChatGPT or Gemini again, and see if your brand starts showing up. And yes, that does work, but honestly, it's kind of a grind. It's copy, paste, repeat over and over. I don't know about you, but I can think of better ways to spend my time other than sitting around having the same conversation with ChatGPT every week. And that's exactly why we built our AI visibility rank tracker. We were doing the manual checks ourselves and got tired of wasting hours. So we built a tool that does them automatically. Now, I know I've been saying you don't need a website this whole time, and that's still true. The manual method works perfectly without one. However, to use our tool, you need to have a website. But I'm of the opinion that if you're serious enough about this to want AI automated tracking, you're probably ready for a simple landing page anyway. Even something as basic as card or link tree counts. Anyway, back to how our AI rank tracking tool works. You add your website, drop in your list of prompts, and Keyword.com's AI visibility tracker shows you exactly which sites are ranking for these prompts across platforms like Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, and more. Instead of checking over and over, you just set a schedule. You'll get updated rankings automatically so you can see whether your efforts are paying off. Look, you know exactly how to get AI to recommend your business. 3 simple steps that most people have no clue about. While everyone else is still obsessing over their Instagram algorithm or Google ads, you can be quietly showing up where AI sends customers. No expensive campaigns, no complex funnels, just strategic visibility where it matters now. If you're doing nothing else after this video, do this. Open ChatGPT and ask one question your ideal customer would ask. Just one. See who shows up and ask yourself, why them, not you? Tomorrow, you could be the answer AI gives. If you found this useful, you'll love this playlist where I break down how different AI tools decide what to recommend. Each video is a masterclass in getting AI to work for you. I'll see you there.